Today on Eagle Nation News. With new opportunities and schools coming our way, Coleman Meyer sits down with a Prosper superintendent to hear what's next. One student at PHS has a sweet new business. Nuala Adams takes a bite into Jack Frost slushies. The heat is not stopping Prosper students from achieving their dreams. Colton Boston drives us into a new competition. All this and more on today's edition of Eagle Nation News.
Good morning, Eagle Nation, and thank you for joining us. I'm Parker Reynolds.
And I'm Landry Long. We have our very first show for you today, so stick around. ENN starts right now. Welcome back, Eagle Nation, and thank you for joining us here again at Studio 301.
Today is Friday, August 11th. A lot has happened during summer that we need to do some catching up on, so stay tuned to hear what we've missed in the last few months.
Up first, with the massive growth continuing within Prosper, the need for new schools remain. Coleman Meyer highlights new and recently announced PISD schools.
In just 2 years, Prosper ISD has increased its enrollment by more than 2,000. With enrollment numbers district-wide just over 25,000 students. With the once small town of Prosper facing growth this large, new facilities are required to keep up with the continuously growing student population. As the new school year begins, Prosper ISD is celebrating the opening of several new facilities.
We have Walnut Grove High School, home of the Wildcats. We have Brenda Calhoun Early Childhood School. We have Liliana Elementary and Christie Elementary.
Part of the reason for such rapid growth in Prosper is due to the strength and distinctive characteristics that make up the school district. Ranking in the top 1% of districts in Texas, the top 2% in the country, and the top 0.7 for athletes in the state. On Friday, August 4th, Prosper broke ground on its 4th high school, located on the west side of Prosper on the corner of 1st Street and Teal Parkway.
So with the tremendous growth that Prosper's had, we've gotten schools on the east side. Now we needed to get stuff on the west side. This has been our fastest growing area in Prosper for the past number of years. We chose this. It was really the last big piece of land. There's enough here to do not only football fields, but we've got extra room. If we need to do other things, we've got room here to do it.
High School number 4, which will be Richland High School, home of the Raiders, and the school colors will be purple, gray, and black. It's going to be pretty amazing.
We've gone back and looked at all the old original school districts that now make up Prosper ISD, and we're trying to honor those old school districts by naming the local schools, the new schools that we built after those schools. So this one was named Richland. It was for the rich land in this area that the farmers farmed on. And we'll continue that tradition going forward.
And those traditions will begin in the fall of 2025 when Richland High School is set to open. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Coleman Meyer.
Landry, I remember when Prosper was still such a small town with less than 10,000 people, and that was back when there was like 3 elementary schools, so it's crazy to see the growth up to now.
I know, it feels like yesterday we were just looking around seeing cows and grass everywhere, but Prosper continues to grow. Just like fans' excitement after recent announcements. Up next is Talent Talk.
PHS students are invited to attend an art tour in New York City during spring break. Students will tour a variety of art galleries and major attractions. If you are interested and would like to learn more, RSVP for the information meeting via Zoom. This virtual meeting will be held on Thursday, August 24th at 6 p.m. Reach out to our art teacher, Ms. Delaney, for more information.
In the past couple of days, there's been some long-awaited reveals not only in the music world, but also in the movie industry. Christina, take it away.
Thanks, Parker. I think it's only right to start off with Barbie the movie just hit $1 billion at the box office earlier this week. After a highly anticipated release with millions put into advertising, Barbie broke multiple opening weekend records when it came out last month. People swarmed the theaters to see their favorite childhood dolls come to life. On top of this, Greta Gerwig became the first solo woman director to reach $1 billion ever. I sadly did not have a part in that number because I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips on TikTok and it honestly seems a lot better than I thought it would be. Someone else who's reaching millions is Taylor Swift, thanks to her Eras tour. Her success is mind-blowing, but what she stated on the last day of the U.S. portion of her tour was even more so. Just 2 days ago, Swift announced the re-release of 1989 Taylor's version on October 27th. Fans had been speculating this announcement as the date of the concert was 8/9 and the original album was released 8 years, 9 months, and 13 days ago, which 13 is her lucky number. The new album will have 16 standard tracks and 5 tracks from the vault. Swift even said, quote, "This is my most favorite re-record I've ever done because the 5 from the vault tracks are so insane." But Landry, I know you're a huge Swiftie, so I have to know, what was it like waking up to that announcement?
I mean, waking up yesterday and seeing that she's going to re-record 1989 Taylor's version was the best way to start my morning.
I bet.
Yeah, 1989 is an album that will never go out of style.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people have been speculating all summer about how it was going to be released, so it's crazy that it just happened.
Yeah, and speaking of summer, while most people take summer as a time to relax, one student at Prosper High School took his time to work on his very own business. Nuala Adams showcases how this company came to be.
Summertime in Texas brings heat that can sometimes be unbearable. Luckily, a great solution can be found right here in Prosper at a slushy and snow cone company created by a sophomore who has had big ambitions even from a young age.
When I was 9, I started working at Peach Orchard, and later down the road I became the manager. And then my boss kind of told me to do my own thing. He just gave me stuff he didn't want. I decided, since I have all this stuff and this awesome recipe, I had to do something with it. I couldn't just let it sit in my garage.
Looking for some extra hands to help out, Jacob turned to a familiar face.
Well, I saw an opportunity to work my best friend and make some money, save up for college or anything like that.
While starting your own business can be a bumpy road, having a friend along for the ride makes everything run much smoother.
Nathaniel has been a great help. I really appreciate all of his hard work.
I look for any events that are happening and I let Jacob know, and I'm trying to make my best to show up and help him.
Moving around to find business can be draining, but focusing on the impact they could have helps Jacob and Nathaniel to stay optimistic.
I've been here, Creeks of Legacy, Artesia, and I even went to a car meet. Try to look at the, how many people's days I could have made better rather than the dollar amount. And when you look at it like that, a smaller number can be more impactful. It may not be the healthiest, but it tastes really good.
Y'all should come down and get some of these. These are good.
Jack Frost slushies and snow cones definitely found the right business plan to beat the heat, because a frosty treat can do a lot to make your day a little sweeter. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Nuala Adams.
For those of you who missed out, don't lose your cool. You can find updates on where this stand will be next on the Instagram account below. Parker, I have to know, what's your favorite snow cone flavor?
Okay, it sounds kind of weird, but I really like chocolate snow cones.
I haven't tried that yet, but I could see how that could be good. I'm more of a classic fan like cherry.
Well, however you like your snow cone, it's a great way to cool down. But game time is heating up this week, so stay tuned because game time is next.
The Prosper Engineering Team's solar car application is live. Go to prosperengineeringteam.com/solarcar to complete the application. There will be an information meeting on Monday, August 14th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the LGI at Walnut Grove High School. Tryouts are August 17th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., also in the LGI at Walnut Grove High School. See Miss Riley in the nest if you have any questions.
With school starting back up, so are Prosper Sports. Bradston Swick is in studio with this week's edition of Game Time.
Thanks, Parker. Even though the school year has just begun, multiple Prosper sports are already in full swing. Yesterday, both boys and girls water polo played in the first day of the Keller tournament. The guys team brought home a dominant win with a final score of 11-6, with the girls team also finishing with an impressive score of 13-4. They play again today and will continue to play into the weekend. Moving to tennis, varsity matched up against Heritage on Monday, but fell short, barely losing 9-10, and again to Liberty later that afternoon. And finally, they matched up against Plano East yesterday with an exciting victory finishing 12-7. The team is hoping to keep that momentum going as they face Wiley next Tuesday. Finally, switching to volleyball news, our Lady Eagles are off to a very strong start, winning their first game of the season 3-0 against Frisco Independence. Callie Zwick is live in the arena with more Lady Eagles volleyball news.
Thanks, Bradston. After a strong start on Tuesday, the Lady Eagles are set to play in the Battle for the Rock tournament in Rockwall today and tomorrow, and are set to play Frisco Wakeland on Tuesday. And while volleyball has a lot of matches coming up, Eagle fans are going to have to wait until August 22nd when the Eagles play their first home match of the season in the newly renovated arena against Decatur. This renovation brought in multiple new changes at the end of the school year. I think that this is a great addition to the arena. What do you think? Back at the desk.
Thank you, Callie. I know the whole team has been putting in so much hard work over the summer break, and it's already paying off.
And it must have been hard given how much it's been so hot lately.
It's been really hot. I mean, over 100 days, being over 100 degrees, it's been crazy.
Yeah, this summer the sun has been excessive and energy draining, but Colton Boston shares how Prosper Engineering Team uses the sun to fuel their solar car.
Over the summer, the Prosper Engineering Team found themselves racing the Prosper ISD solar car while Texas was one of the hottest places on Earth.
This car was built for a cross-country race, and that will be from Fort Worth at Texas Motor Speedway and going to Palmdale, California.
But on the third day of the race, the team got shocking news while they were in El Paso.
Oh, we had just completed a long haul through the desert to El Paso. We were all just super exhausted, just kind of hanging out in the swimming pool.
We found out that 18 of the 24 judges tested positive for COVID.
And we were told that it was canceled due to COVID. And at first, for like the first 10 or so minutes, it was just disbelief.
Even without finishing the race, the Prosper Solar Car team has had an effect on other schools.
So we're really good. Now the cool part is after we were done, all of our students then went over and helped other teams. So other ones that were struggling with some stuff and needed some extra help, they went over and helped them. You know, we want to as much cooperation as possible. The more teams that got to pass scrutineering, the better. And so if we could help somebody else succeed, why not?
The engineering team is not only going to keep this car in good shape, but they are also building another one for this year's solar car race at Texas Motor Speedway. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Colton Boston.
If you want to find out how you can get involved with the solar car program, go to prosperengineeringteam.com.
That's all we have for you today, Eagle Nation, and thank you for letting us tell your stories. Once again, I'm Landry Long.
And I'm Parker Riddles. Have a great weekend and
go Eagles.